Hi everyone, welcome to Tom's Manshed. Okay, this is the first video of the new year 2022, so I hope you all had a great Christmas, and let's hope this year for many of us is going to be a better year than last year's was, which was, as many of my regular subscribers will know, was a horrendous year for me. So what it's about is the so-called rust problem that was mentioned couple of years ago about the MG ZS EV car. It was like a sort of conspiracy theory going around at the time. I think one person with a white one had had a lot of rust problems, and he put it out there that they were Chinese rubbish and there were rust buckets in it, and it spread like bloody wildfire at the beginning. But I've had the car now 2 years. It's been absolutely fantastic. It's been the best car I've ever had, and I've had quite a lot in my lifetime, and it's a joy to drive and an absolute pleasure to own. So much so that I've just ordered the facelifted version, which has come out, which has got loads of extra new features on it, and I've got my name down for that, and hopefully that'll be in March, which is a couple of months. Not 100% when I'm going to get it, because the government here changed the rules of the government grant, and when you get that government grant, and they also knocked £1,000 off it. So when I ordered my car about a month ago, it was after that announcement had been made, and suddenly in effect it went up £2,500 because they lowered the grant by £1,000. And they also move the goalposts of when you get that grant, so that this version of the car I've got doesn't fall within that. So if I'd ordered it 2.5 weeks earlier, it'd have been a couple of £2,500 cheaper. But it's still a really, really good value car to get when you look at the features. And like I say, I've never had a minute's problem with mine. So I thought I'd do this before I probably get rid of it in a couple of months' time, while I've still got it, to address any fears of any sort of rust underneath or anywhere else. So what I've just done this morning is I've gone around all the bottoms of the doors and round the boot lid, under the bonnet, and then I've got it up on car ramps. I don't own any sort of hydraulic lift or have any facilities to get properly under, and I'd love a heated garage with a lift in it that I could get under my car, but no, it's a tiny little garage mine with just my kit car in it, and just wouldn't be enough room for this. So it's permanently stored outside my car, up the drive, in all weathers, 24/7. Okay, I haven't done much mileage. I've only done 4,000 miles, just over 4,000 in the 2 years I've had it. Mainly because, due to COVID, holidays were cancelled, other things happened last year, massive alterations in my life and that, so I haven't done anything like the mileage that I would have normally done, but it is still left out all the time, like I said, 24/7, and all the journeys I make are short ones, so it's getting all the rubbish off the roads and the salt and that when it's down there. So it's still a good yardstick, if you will, for what rust is like. Now, like I say, when this sort of rumour came out, it was one person who got a white one, I think, who seemed to have these rust problems. But in the 2 years I've had it, since I've been on the Facebook group, and there's a fantastic Facebook group, I'll put a link down below, loads and loads of dealers and proper engineers and owners are on there giving good advice. They do a live podcast every Monday, and it's a really good friendly bunch of guys. So if you've got any questions you want to ask them there. And like I say, I've been on it since it started, and there just hasn't been any mention really of rust on this when it first came out. So without further ado, let's go and have a look underneath it now. Like I say, I've filmed all around it, put it up on ramps, got under it best I can with a torch, tried to get in all the nooks and crannies with my camera, and let's just see how rusty it looks under there. So starting under the bonnet, I'll try and get as much of the metalwork on my camera as I can. As you can see, moving around here, there's no sign of rust whatsoever on all the red painted bits. All there around that bulkhead. It's just got the usual accumulation of dust underneath there. Again, nothing of any concern there. And as we look deeper down, just trying to get that sort of cross member strut there, you can see some bits of sort of surface rust on that bit there. But again, it is just a very, very tiny coating. If you were at all concerned, you could just coat that yourself with some hammerite or wax oil or something like that. But it's certainly only on the very, very surface as it goes along there. And over to the other side, again, the metal work there looks fine. Most of it now in this corner is plastic. I'm just trying to get on the final bits of metal work there. So we're now on to the doors. So this is the driver's door, and looking through into there, into the bracket supporting the wing and that. And as you can see, there's absolutely nothing there. It's like new. It's like brand spanking new. These sort of plates, that plate saying ZS, were just sort of extras I got off Banggood or AliExpress or something like that. They just stick on with double-sided tape, just give a bit of protection from your shoes kicking the paint and that. But like I say, you can see it's absolutely no sign of any rust there. And into the back door, you can see it's a really nice paint. This red paint. It's like it's a tri-pack paint, and it's in the sunlight it really glitters. It's really nice. I've gone for the blue, the new sort of blue colour on the new one because I quite like that. But yeah, I love the red as well. So into the boot now. As you can see, I opted for I got myself an extra spare wheel kit because I just do not like the inflator with gel or whatever you get with it normally. So that standard one will be going back in when I get it. This new one will be going in the new car. But it's mainly plastic in here, but as you can see on the bits of metal there's no rust. So that's the boot lid back. These two bags I've got, I did another video on them. They're really useful. You can get them from Aldi and Lidl. Check the link above, right, and for a review I did on them. You can keep tons and tons of stuff in there. First aid kit, tyre inflator, tools and all sorts. And they fit with Velcro ideally in that cap. And this is the jump starter pack I got from Lidl's. Again, check upper right for the link on that. I did a full review on that. Very handy if your 12-volt battery goes dead. But as we go around here, again you can see on the car and the tailgate, that's just a bit of that bird muck or something run down there, that white stuff. There's absolutely no corrosion. It's all as new, all the metal. And yeah, because it's just muck moving off with my finger. I've kept it well waxed with good quality wax, Colimite, and I've just recently started using the Turtle Wax ceramic, which got good reviews. So I always keep on top of my car on the outside. And of course the old cars, you used to have to pump them with wax oil and stuff. My old Mini, my old Morris Marina and my Vivas and things, you pumped wax oil in the doors or they did rot like whatever. But I've never done anything like that to any car in the last 20 years or more. But as you can see, no signs of any sort of corrosion or whatsoever on the tailgate as well. So that was the outside of it before I got it on the ramps, and as you can see, nowhere on the sills or the door frames or anything is a sign of rust. It's like absolutely brand new. So we'll get it up on the ramps now, front and back, and let's have a look underneath, which is a bit probably most people are worried about. Let's have a look at that now. So like I said, this is the only means I've got of looking underneath up on these old ramps, which I've done this morning in absolutely freezing conditions. Hope it's worth it for this video. So yeah, let's have a look underneath right now. Okay, this is front right hand side. Oh, and that little tiny bit there. There's nothing really. What's that downward strut there? That looks quite rusty, but again, no more so than other cars I've had. It's this thing here. Don't know what this is. Steering. Sorry, drive shaft or something. Again, all fits. And under this side. Looks worse on the actual camera than it does in real life. Looking at it with my naked eye, this bit here, where my finger is, it's just a very, very slight surface rust that you'd get, I would think, on any sort of 2-year-old car. That bit of the drive hub there is sort of quite rusty, but again, seems the norm to me. That certainly on the chassis itself, the bodywork, there doesn't seem to be anything worth noting. This is the right hand front wheel underneath that. These are the sills. See here, this doesn't seem any rust on that, and all this stuff here is like an underseal. All this rough, it's like a bitumen type underseal. Bit of tiny surface rust bunghole there. So that's the left side. By the way, this is a really handy light. If you want to see a review on that, click on the link above right now. Again, this is the right hand side of the car. Some sort of surface rust around that bung there. All this is sort of undersealed here, and again the sill itself is still shiny there. So it doesn't seem to be any rust. That's like the covering of the battery leading to the back. Okay, here we are at the back, and what's that cross member there? See, depends on the light. With that down there at the bottom here, that looks like rust, but it's absolutely not. It's just sheer alloy, that part of the battery pack. And if you look up there under the floor, there's absolutely no sign on the steel work or whatever it is there. Or there's some round the nuts and bolts, which, like I say, again is the norm. Again here, and the rear suspension. Again at the bottom of that strut. But all this is absolutely, totally normal on a 2-year-old car. That on that seam there. Again, it's just a surface. So here's under the very back of the car. Again, a lot of it's sort of plastic under here, but again, you can see on the metal bits, just surface flecks. And like I say, if you were concerned about this, you could easily spray that with some wax oil or some extra paint. But certainly seems pretty rust free. You only seem to get it on certain welded seams, and then not really bad. Again, you can see it around that bracket there as it joins the black piece. Again, a lot of this obviously plastic, but any sort of painted metal you can see seems to be pretty rust proof, and only getting it there, but very small amounts. So there you have it. Like I say, I'm no car mechanic, so I can't give an absolute verdict on whether the bits of rust you saw will become a problem or not. I don't know. All I can say is, from a layman's point of view, I've had 3 or 4 brand new cars. I've had many cars around about 2-year-old over the years. I'm 62 years old now, and looking underneath nearly every one of them at some time, I can't say I've noticed any sort of real difference between any of them. I mean, obviously some of the really early rust buckets like Morris Marina and things like that, yeah. But any of the more recent cars I've had, they're all about the same amount after 2 years. The last car I had was a Focus ST3 that I bought brand new and sold when it was 3 years old. That looked about the same after 2 years underneath. So, like I said, I'll let you be the judge of it, but to me, I don't see any problem whatsoever with rust on these cars, as do the vast majority of owners who think just the same thing. Maybe one or two have slipped through the net, and that can happen with any manufacturer. So we'll leave it at that, and like I said, I'll let you be the judge. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope it's been of some use. I have got further reviews in the pipeline. I picked this little gizmo up from Lidl's the other day. It's a monitor for there we go. It gives you the humidity inside and outside your house with an outside sensor and the temperature and stuff like that. So I'm giving that a good try out at the moment and currently putting that video together. So that'll probably be my next one. But if you do want to subscribe, please click the little picture of the shed here. And I shall see you for more reviews very, very soon. Thanks for watching this one. Bye for now.